Hello, 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 hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Radio Free Wall Street. How are you doing? It's August, and the reason why I know is because Donald Trump's being fried on the sidewalks of New York City. I mean, he's got his New York buddies there, and they got themselves a great big trial, and it is not going well. I can tell you the president is very concerned, and that is why he issued the sanction order. He has got to try to keep this out of the news. Reality is that, holy shit, you have got Cohen and you have got his campaign manager and the campaign manager's business partners at war with each other. Gates is testifying that they did collude to steal money, not pay taxes. They did collude with the Russian government, and there was a crime. Now, does the crime extend to this White House? Well, that will be after Gates testifies in the Trump impeachment. So they're saying, well, it's okay. Look, no one said anything about Donald Trump, and no one said anything about Donald Trump's involvement. That's right. This is the crime that took place before he became connected with the Trump administration. But before you break out that bottle of Dom Perignon, year 2000, a good year, by the way, and chill it, remember this. This trial is not about what happened during the Trump years. This was before. This does not mean that there wasn't any issues during the Trump years. Come on. Now, let's play like we're smart. You got a man that's a crime spree, stole $100 million. He set phony corporations around the world. He colluded with the Russians. He basically based as their agent to try to help them take over Yugoslavia and the Crimea Peninsula. This man with those Russian connections now has the next job with the Trump administration, at which time Russia was involved in the election. Russia did collude. Russia did have the troll farm, did indeed drop the WikiLeaks information to help Trump win the election. Is it a real far walk in space to assume that a man who was owing them money, who was in contact with them during a period of time, mentioned the Trump election, mentioned collusion, used his influence? Come on, you're not that stupid. So don't get so, as Trump you start sinking, you can see his cries of pain. Now, I know Fox is telling you, well, there's nothing about Donald Trump, nothing about Donald Trump, nothing about Donald Trump. This is before Donald Trump. Okay, we got the before, and the next trial will be the during, and the after one, well, that'll be done at a federal institution somewhere, I'm sure. So be smart here. Isn't it amazing when the trial's heating up, Donald Trump gets the headline by announcing the sanctions against his good friend Iran? Are you really, really fooled by that? Are you really, really going to let that blow and go pass you by without saying, whoa, Donald's all over the news today? Wonder why. Pretty simple. He's got to take the heat off this trial. He has got to get this out of the news and get him in place there. No matter how you want to spin it, if you're an intelligent human being, it's very simple. You're President of the United States, and your campaign manager, your lawyer, and many of your top officials are facing federal indictment. Your campaign manager is now on trial about collusion with Russians. His business partner, Gates, is testifying against him and revealing that they did conspire and collude. Now, you know the man, Gates, who's testifying, got an immunity deal from the prosecutors going after the president. Now, are they going to make such an idiot out of you and convince you that this has nothing to do with Donald Trump? Really? Of course it does. And, of course, this is a trial about a separate issue. Why? Because they don't want to bring in, if they bring in, can I make you smart? I'm going to make you smart. If they bring in Donald Trump in this thing, then that opens up for evidential discovery about all the issues with the Trump campaign. It gives Trump a heads up, right? So by making it clear that this predates Trump and Trump's not involved in this thing. This is not a Fox News celebration. This is an extremely smart prosecutor that says, hey, I don't need to bring Trump in here. I'm bringing you down what you did before Trump. The next trial will be during Trump. The third trial, well, that'll be at Leavenworth, and that'll be in the shower room after Trump. Got it? So this is a sign of the deep and serious problems Donald Trump has. The fact that the day the trial is getting heated up, he goes ahead and announces sanctions on Iran means he wants to keep this trial out of the news and put the Iranians in. This is a big deal. This is a man who's in trouble. This is a man who's playing the media. He's playing the presidential card, the bully pulpit, the best he knows how. Now, don't you be fooled. This trial is a big ass shit. It is a big mess. It is coming unglued in ways you have not seen before. Now, I want you to understand something here. This is a president who's in trouble. Now, let's talk about turning some money. Donald Trump is announcing sanctions against Iran. Well, it's not going to be pistachio nuts. It's going to be about oil. So this now becomes a factor in the oil market. It's a tradable situation. Now, if you're smart enough to understand where this thing shakes out, what Donald Trump's got at stakes, you can make money at it. Now, there's more. Donald Trump's problems extend to the midterm elections. Well, if the market gets a feel that Donald Trump is losing his grip on power, is that not a stock market event? Do you really believe the stock market will stay at these levels if the Democrats take over? Do you really believe a Donald Trump impeachment is not a market worrisome event? Of course it is. So your key here is understand that this is a president in trouble. He has got his closest campaign advisor. Oh, well, I hardly knew him. Bullshit. That is being on trial for money received from Russian operatives doing favors for Russian. By the prosecutor who's asking the question of, was there collusion between the Trump campaign and the Russians? And was there illegal activity? Was there obstruction of justice? And the answer is, there was something sure as shit going on there. So this guy just happened to have Russian connections, but he didn't use it for the Trump campaign. Just so happened the Russians showed up at Trump Tower offering dirt on Hillary Clinton. The dirt on Hillary Clinton was released through WikiLeaks through a Russian connection. A Russian troll farm did exist that got Russian information from Cambridge Analytica. Now, are you so fool that you cannot understand the problem and you got a president running around no collusion? He fires the FBI director because he will not pledge loyalty and then announces the end of the Russian investigation and didn't? Got it? So you can be part of the deep state assholes. You can be part of the Trump nitwits. I call them the Trump chumps. And maybe get a job in a Chevy factory, okay? Or maybe a blast furnace. That'd be nice. Or you can be smart and go, hey, this is the president shitting all over himself. He's doing trade wars to get the heat off because not helping business. He is doing sanctions against the Iranians, which will not work, will not soften them up. What's he really doing? Donald Trump wants Trump. He wants sanctions. He wants trade wars. He wants Trump helping you, Mr. Factory Worker, in the news. And he wants that noise to overcome trials that are going very badly. Manafort will be convicted, okay? And when he's convicted, he will then face state charges on the basis of the federal conviction where he cannot be pardoned. And Manafort will roll over. His guy Gates already has rolled over. Cohen is already making a deal as we speak. That means there's collaboration. In other words, you've got three people who have knowledge of the affair that are going to be in a position to testify, yeah, he sure as shit had a Russian connection. I was there, sure as shit. And this is the kind of stuff that gets the president impeached. So now understand the market ramifications of this. Donald Trump's starting a trade war not because he can win it, but because he silences the narrative. He's getting votes. Why? Donald Trump cannot afford to lose the House. Donald Trump cannot afford to lose the Senate. Donald Trump cannot afford the Democrats coming to town. Donald Trump, even if he wins, cannot be assured that this does not become an agenda the Republicans cannot ignore. An agenda of what Donald Trump did. There's too much going on here. These trials are very dangerous to the President of the United States. And he's reacting in such a way that indicates he's worried. He's obsessed by watching the coverage. He is constantly trying to get this out of the news. This is a man that's in trouble. This is a man whose world is coming unglued. This is a man who's going down. Can you figure that out? Now, I don't think the deep state conspiracy guys are going to write you a check. I don't think Donald Trump is going to invite you to be a partnership in one of his projects. So, since we are headed for a recession, it'll be a depression. Since we are in a trade war that is costing American business plenty, since we got a Federal Reserve that is raising interest rates, since we got a business slowdown and business taxes that are dropping because the Laffer curve did not work, you should wake up and go, I think we have a problem. I think there's trading opportunity here. I think Trump may be going down. I think if Donald Trump has gone down, it could be devastating for the economy. Maybe I should make some money at this rather than wiping out like the other Trump chumps. Duh. For a president of the United States to have his personal attorney turning state evidence against him with collaboration of tapes, to have Donald Trump's campaign manager facing a trial he's about to lose, and that said campaign manager's associate is testifying against him, that is not a happy song. That is not good news. That is a president that every day comes closer to impeachment. That is a president who becomes more dangerous to the country and to himself. That is a president that is in trouble. Look, Donald Trump's all over the news today warning Europe against doing business with Iran. That's Siemens, that's Airbus, that's Merck, Volkswagen, Alliance. These are all companies that have invested billions of dollars because they thought the sanctions were over. Donald Trump putting back on the sanctions is a big deal. It's all over the news. And he needs that all over the news because he's got to quiet the fires of a big-ass problem he has. His problem is, whether it's a deep state conspiracy or whether it's Ivanka or whether it's Melania because she's got a boyfriend with a tennis instructor, or it's Stormy getting revenge, or the bunny rabbit girl with a little bushy white tail, whatever it is, it's serious, and whatever it is, it's threatening the president. Whatever it is, he's concerned about it, and he will react to it. He will do things to try to save himself. Now, that's just the reality you're going to have to face here. And that's knowledge you just have to understand. Now, if you know that, should we not go a step further and say, what are the trading opportunities here? Is sanctions from Iran really going to starve the oil business of oil inventory? No. The U.S. has already ramped up for what Iranian oil is just this year. The year's not over. So you need to walk around here and go, well, what about the stock market? What does the stock market look like if the federal prosecutor finds there was obstruction of justice? What does the world look like if he finds that there was collusion with the Russians, and he so states that in a report? You got a constitutional crisis the next day. Now, the Democrats may try to bury it, but what will be the reaction of the moderates, the people in the middle? Now, I'm not talking about the Trump chumps, blue-collar Chevy worker guy. I'm talking about the doctors and lawyers, business people, entrepreneurs that are centerists. These are the people that make money the old-fashioned way. These are the people that create jobs. These are the people who know how to do business. You don't think they're watching? You don't think they understand collusion? You don't think they understand influence peddling, obstruction of justice? You don't think that the free market people among us are saying this trade shit ain't worth a damn? You think Mr. Iowa pork farmer in Crazier going to go, well, hell, I voted for the man. Now, by God, he's just taking away my livelihood. Shit. You don't think that conversation's going on? Okay? You don't think the soybeaner guys are going, well, hell, I got all these beans here. Look at the price. Okay? So everywhere you look, there is real concern for what's going on here. And this is going to shape up in this election. And Donald Trump understands that. He's got to have a Hail Mary. He's got to have something to take the heat off. And look what he's done. He started a trade war with Europe as his investigation got going good. He went to the G7 summit, made an asshole of himself, insulted everybody. He went to NATO and talked about disbanding NATO. He went and kissed Putin's ass. Oh, Vladimir, honey bunny. Let's not get carried away with the videotapes. This is a man who's very concerned about his life coming unglued. He's not making decisions in the best interest of the country, obviously. He is not making decisions in the best interest of free trade. He is making decisions based on how he plays to the Trump chumps, how he plays to the blue-collar worker. Now, I am sorry. I don't have a great deal of respect for Mr. Blue-collar worker. I fortunately know that he's being replaced and that he's at lose-losey time. And he's not lost his job because of China or unfair trade. He's lost his job because he's an idiot. He lost his job because he entered the workforce with marginal skills, a marginal education, and did not up his level. Listen to me. Somebody that screws a dashboard in a Chevy is not somebody highly skilled. Somebody that clamps on the door panels and bolts the seats to the floor on an assembly line is not a man who has exceeded in his life and reached new heights and challenged himself intellectually. Okay? That's a loser. Now, if I got a president that's pandering to the loser in the society, what does that make the president? If I've got a president that wants to make a steel guy great again, a coal guy with his little helmet and little LED lights in there now, great again, is he dealing with 5G? Is he dealing with factory automation? Is he moving ahead into the skills of the next century? Or is he stuck on stupid? Or is he stuck on something, well, far worse? Ask yourself these questions. Now, ask yourself, how does this affect the economy? How does this affect the stock market? How does this make America grow? When I make the list of Donald Trump's, I've got all negatives. His tax breaks plan for billionaires has created a $1.5 billion national debt. He has the biggest treasury issue ever. We have got the Federal Reserve that is pounding this economy to death. So exactly where are the positives? The Laffer curve? That's a joke. Jobs being opened by factories in America? Not happening. Capital returning to be invested in American industry? Not happening. So you want to get all excited and get an erection because the pimp in chief has 10 million jobs cleaning toilets and hotel rooms? Really? Pay of American workers is not keeping up with the increasing costs. That's a fact. People are losing ground. That's a fact. Credit card debt is a record high. That's a fact. Delinquencies in credit cards, home mortgages, and automobile loans are starting to climb at an alarming rate. So whatever the narrative is, whatever the bullshit is, whatever the spin out of the skunk works inside Washington, D.C., whatever goes on in the Oval Office production show on a daily basis of Make Trump Great Again, there's the reality. There's the truth, and believe me, truth has nothing to do with Donald Trump. You know, as far as I'm concerned, he fears the truth more than he fears the social disease. and rightly so, both with the women he's been with and the things he's done. This is a president, whether it's a deep state conspiracy or whatever bullshit it is, he's in trouble. This is a president who is not doing things that are for the good of the country. He's doing things to make blow and go and noise and spread a blizzard of bullshit so no one understands, or at least as many people as possible, don't understand how much trouble he's in. This is a president who's going down. This is a president who fears the prosecutor. This is a president that has got to do a Hail Mary, rabbit out of his hat. He needs a miracle. Now, maybe Our Lady of Fatima will come to the White House. Maybe the angels will come and stop the prosecution. But anything short of a miracle, this is a president that's in trouble. This is an economy that's in trouble. This is a stock market that's going to crash. And this is a president who's starting trade wars, stirring up the Iranians, stirring up the Chinese, pissing off the Canadians, that has no value to the U.S. economy, has no value to the U.S. worker. What is its value? The value is it blows a blizzard of bullshit that hopefully will hide and keep the public's eye off of the great evil he's done, off of the great trouble he's in. Now, if you can grasp that and you can understand that, then that means that you get a long step away to understand how to profit from it. Donald Trump will be the biggest disaster you've ever seen. Donald Trump will turn this economy into a pile of shit. Donald Trump will do anything, as you are seeing, to save himself, save his administration. And it is my firm belief that this bullshit is not going to work. I want to again repeat to you that this trial that's going on has got the president riveted and he's shitting bricks. It's got the president doing crazy things, saying crazy things. Look at it for what it's worth. Now, again, I urge you, listen, this is great information. This is a great way to make lots of money. Why would you piss that away? Why would you not embrace the fact that, Donald's got himself a big problem. Donald has got an administration that's in trouble. Donald Trump has got to find a way to make this go away, and as the date, he has not. This is the most dangerous president we've ever had because he's wounded. He's facing elections, okay? He has got to win. He has got to prevail. If you understand that, then look at the sanctions with Iran, look at the trade war with Europe and Canada, Mexico, and scratch your ass and say, will this make America great again? Is this a smart move? And I think when you wake up and smell the coffee, you go, no, this is pretty freaking stupid. This is nasty stuff. This is not going to work well. Now that you've gone to that, the next step in your decision process is, well, how do I turn this into money? And that, my friends, means you look for the trading opportunities. And there are a lot of them in trade wars. There are a lot of them in budget deficits running wild. There's a lot of them in the Fed raising interest rates. And do something more constructive than put on a hat and become a prop at basically a stand-in at a Donald Trump rally. Make yourself great again. Make yourself rich again. Understand the trading opportunities. If you do that, then life gets nice. You make lots of money, and you don't really give a rat's ass how this goes. Let's be smart and look at some of the greatest trading opportunities that come along in decades. And that's what Trump represents. That's what this bubble stock market represents. That's an economy that's in trouble. And that's a president who is starting trade wars that always end up in depressions.